alone. Leave us alone.
Yeah, stop spying on me.
Yeah. Get off my computer. Get off my cameras. Get off my Ring camera. You know, take down all this stupid CCTV cameras everywhere that are watching everything. And because the next step to all of this, people don't realize this, and this is the facts, is China and what's going on there, and social credit scores, and your entire life monitored. Like, that's where we're going. Slowly. Jordan Peterson said, was doing an interview and talked about how does, I can't remember what the conversation was, but I heard him say this. How does corruption take form when it's so obvious? It's slow movements. It's like barely inching towards, total corruption and obedience, where you don't really see it coming. Next thing you know, like, oh, I have no other option but to get a chip in my hand, or
Totally.
Have a social credit score that allows me to, fly in a plane. If I don't have a good one, then I got to ride on a bus or a train or a cab, or, I can drive. They want all electric cars. I can just, shut that off at some point because your post on Facebook, kind of violated the government standard here. And also, we're going to freeze your bank account, or only let you, eat at this restaurant. Eat at the, get groceries from this store, not like the nice, organic store. You have to eat over here, or eat insects or whatever the hell.
The Oreo store.
Yeah,
Lucky Charms.
We're not far from that if we don't stand for civil liberties. And people always when I talk about, because I'm always been a big proponent of Ed Snowden, and people are like, well, I have nothing to hide. And I'm like, that is in worst answer, because I don't have anything to hide either. But I want my privacy, and you don't understand. You think the government's just going to stop at what they're doing now? They're not going to stop with this. They're inching closer to being 1984, where they have a set in some sort of TV set in your house that watches you. Make sure you get up and do your 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups. We're going to watch every aspect of your life. We're going to give you a social credit score. We're going to create, it's a great book to read. It was written in 1949. And how accurate it is today. Literally, the Ministry of Truth, we literally had a government organization that was censoring free speech and categorizing things as misinformation. There was a Ministry of Truth czar who was making decisions based on what they thought was acceptable language online, and all these fact-checking.
People are afraid.
All right, first off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Second. Bahashem, Makakodash. Dawadi Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Allow me to do another video through the Spirit. Dawadi Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, for giving us His truth as worms. Divine Star Apostle and after that great millstone and salutation and blessings to the hopeful elect. And, as we move towards the New World Order, the more problems these people are going to have with it. Some people are going to be really with this, the data centers and AI and technology and your privacy being taken away. Some people are actually going to be really with it. But the mass majority of the people, what I would say is, mass majority of people at first aren't going to be with it, because this AI, this data, that all these data centers is about to do a lot of destruction. A lot of your freedoms are about to be taken away, and you cannot do anything or say anything to stop it. And that's what the scriptures say will happen in these last days, man. And actually, let me get that, because this is what John saw. And Esau is creating a system to where you have nowhere to run. You have to either rely on this system or be cut off from his system. And if you rely solely on his system, you will be cut off from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And that is for the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. The rest of the other nations, you're fucked either way. But speaking about for Jake, Esau is really trying to make a trap for you in the snare to where you're cut off from your power source. And a lot of you Jakes are going to fall for it, because you're just so fucking caught up in this In this world, you don't see what's going on. But this is Revelation 20 and verse 12. Actually, I can start at 9. It says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent. This is dealing with Esau, Edom, ancient Rome fell. The Edomite kingdom of Rome eventually fell. And that old serpent is Esau. And he came back in the spirit of Esau. Said, called the devil and Satan, which deceived the world, which deceived the whole world. He was cast into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Yeah, because Esau is eventually. Well, let's just keep going. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven. Now it's okay. Yeah, so that's dealing with this place falling. This place is eventually going to fall. This place that came back as a revitalized Roman Empire. This place is going to fall and be cast down. This isn't dealing with Satan falling from heaven. This is dealing with a power structure that will fall in the last days. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, was accused us before our power day and night. And this is what Esau does. He's creating this system to accuse you Israelites, man. That's the main focus. At the end of the day, his main focus and the nations is to cut off Israel from being remembered of Yahweh. They want to completely cut us off so that we would have no blessing or no inheritance in Yahweh by Shema Shai. And it's not going to work because the Lord left a remnant. And it says, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, that's how the remnant is going to overcome this system. What's about to be set up is going to attack the believers of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. The believers in the last days will not be for the system that will be set up. This MOTB system, the mark of the beast, this data center, these AI, that putting that C-hip inside of you. The true believers of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua will be against it, because look at the destruction that is about to bring to the planet, to the people, and to the world, man. And if you take that C-hip, it's over for you. And they that overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. Therefore rejoice ye heaven, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. And Esau knows that he has to. But look at how rapid these data center and things have become so popular. They're building them everywhere, especially out here in Michigan, which makes sense, because you have a vast water source out here in Michigan. They're moving forward with this, man. They are moving forward with their agenda because they know that time is running out. They know it. It's coming to this kingdom is coming to a close, man. So I'm gonna get this clip and put it in post-production too, Lord willing. So let's get it.
Afraid for NFL quarterback Aaron Rodgers after what he just admitted to Tucker Carlson.
Leave us alone. Leave us alone.
Yeah, stop spying on me.
Yeah. Get off my computer. Get off my cameras. Get off my Ring camera. You know, take down all this stupid CCTV cameras everywhere that are watching everything. And because the next step to all of this, people don't realize this, and this is the facts, is China and what's going on there, and social credit scores, and your entire life monitored. Like, that's where we're going. Slowly. Jordan Peterson said, was doing an interview and talked about how does, I can't remember what the conversation was, but I heard him say this. How does corruption take form when it's so obvious? It's slow movements. It's like barely inching towards, total corruption and obedience, where you don't really see it coming. Next thing you know, like, oh, I have no other option but to get a chip in my hand, or
Totally.
have a social credit score that allows me to, fly in a plane. If I don't have a good one, then I got to ride on a bus or a train or a cab, or, I can drive. They want all electric cars. I can just, shut that off at some point because your post on Facebook, kind of violated the government standard here. And also, we're going to freeze your bank account or only let you, eat at this restaurant. Eat at the, get groceries from this store, not like the nice, organic store. You have to eat over here, or eat insects or whatever the hell.
The Oreo store.
Yeah,
Lucky Charms.
we're not far from that if we don't like stand for civil liberties. And people always like, when I talk about, because I'm always been a big proponent of Ed Snowden, and people are like, well, I have nothing to hide. And I'm like, that is in worst answer, because I don't have anything to hide either. But I want my privacy, and you don't understand. You think the government's just going to stop at what they're doing now? They're not going to stop with this. They're inching closer to being 1984, where they have a set in some sort of TV set in your house that watches you. Make sure you get up and do your 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups. We're going to watch every aspect of your life. We're going to give you a social credit score. We're going to create. It's a great book to read. It was written in 1949, and how accurate it is today. Literally, the Ministry of Truth. We literally had a government organization that was censoring free speech and categorizing things as misinformation. There was a Ministry of Truth czar.
And there you have it. And I wanted to speak on it because at my job, what's that? The last previous jobs I've had, in the trucks, they have camera systems where they monitor you. Rather you're looking at your phone, rather you driving, rather you're aware. This system has already been slowly, methodically being set up for a very long time. Like you said, that it just inches closer and closer to where you have no other option, like a serpent. And that's what they're doing. They're making the press harder and harder and harder until you have no other option. You're gonna have no other option. You're only gonna have. Let me get back to it. They're pushing forward to where you're gonna have no other options. And I want to look something up with the chat. It says, yes, ancient Rome monitored and controlled people's movement in several ways, although nothing like modern surveillance with cameras or electronic tracking. Road checkpoints and military patrols, passes and official authorities, censors and local records, informative and local authorities. Let me do this. Yeah, I thought so. They didn't have branding. That's what I was really looking for. It says no, there's no credible historic evidence that ancient Rome had anything comparable to a modern electronic chip, RFID implant, GPS tracker, or digital identification device. What Rome did have included branding. Some enslaved people and certain criminals were branded or tattooed as a form of identification and punishment. Military records, soldiers were recognized and identified through official records. Okay. Let's see what it says. It says, if you're asking because you're thinking about biblical passages such as the mark of the beast in Revelation, it's worth noting that while Roman Empire used mark, brandings, and economic control in certain contexts, it is not historical evidence to is possess or use any system resembling a microchip system, and it actually does, because a microchip system is nothing but branding, but putting it inside you, putting the all, inside of you. So that is a form of branding. So I just wanted to look that up real quick just to see. But this system that John saw through the angel, we're living in that, man. We're living in that. Oh, that's what I wanted to grab. The Egyptians. So themselves, because they're gonna break these people down to where there's no other option other than to trust and rely in Egypt. There's gonna be no other option but to be, because if you want Google back, if you want your Wi-Fi back, if you want the funds back of the society, you're gonna have to side with this system. And a lot of people, even if they don't want to, they're going to side with this place because they're going to have no other choice. If you don't want to be X'd out of society anymore, you're going to have to take this seat. This is coming, man. These things are happening. There's no stopping it. This George Orwellian system, these things are happening in the earth. Thus saith the Bible, because prophecy has to be fulfilled. Yahweh Shema Shai has prophesied these things to happen through his prophets. They're going to happen. But where do you stand in this historical time? Where do you stand? Do you stand on the side of Yahweh by Shema Shai, or do you stand on the side of Esau, Edom? Where are you going to be placed at the end of the world? That's the big question. And the Lord is creating a line dividing who is his and who's not his. Because you're going to have certain Jake who take this because they just want this system. They don't see anything else. And some Jake are going to take it out of desperation because they don't have faith. But the men of Yahweh Shema Shai, the elect men and women and children, will not side with this system no matter what happens to them. And that's what John saw. This is Genesis 47 and verse 14. Yeah, I can read from here. It says, "And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, for the corn which they brought, and Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. And when the money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, Give us bread, for why should we die? For why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth. And Joseph said, Give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle, if money faileth. And they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph. So you see, the press is getting worse, to where they have to rely on Joseph. And this is the same thing happening in America. The system is being broken down so bad where they're being forced to rely on it. You're going to have no other option. You're not going to be able to go to your farmlands to build up yourself, to make some money. You're not going to be able to make it on your own. You're going to have to rely on the government. Just like they were forced to rely on the government back then in ancient Egypt when the famine, when the press was so bad. And Esau, if we have this, Esau has this. And they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses and for flocks and for cattle and for herds and for asses. And he fed them with bread for all their cattle for the year. When the year was ended, they came unto him the second year, and said unto him, We will not hide it from my Lord, how that our money is spent. My Lord also have our herds of cattle. There is none off left in the sight of my Lord, but our bodies and our lands. Wherefore shall we die before thy eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our lands we will serve unto Pharaoh, and give us seed, that we may live, and shall not die in the land, and the land be not desolate. And this is how it's getting here, man. Listen, man, I'll take the chip, man. Just give me back my PlayStation, man. Just give me back Wi-Fi. Just give me back some steak. Just give me back the world that what it once was. People are gonna sell themselves to this system to try to bring it back, and even in that, it's just a lie, man. To try to ease the pain of the suffering, because there was this. This is a great example. This happened by, because of famine. But Esau is the one creating this system. He's the one creating these problems. He's doing it. He's creating the problem, and the solution is going to be, just sell yourselves. Give yourselves up to this system. We'll help you. We'll give you this MOTD system, because everything's fucked up now, because the water, because you, not because the data centers, not because of that, because there's so many people on the planet, the water's fucked up now. So, just you got to take this sea here. We're going to ration you out water. Esau is manipulatively planning this system, man, and he's going to drag everybody into it. And the elect of Yahweh Sheb'al Shai is going to stand against it. And many of them will be put to death, and many of them will not be. But as they move forward to do that, Yahweh Sheb'al Shai is going to lift up a standard against him, and salvation will be right at the door. So these are the times that we're coming in, brothers and sisters. These are the times that we're coming in. Be prepared in the spirit of Yahweh Sheb'al Shai. And this is why the letters were written, especially that Acts, exhorting the souls of the disciples that through much tribulation we shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. The times are about to get really hard, but Yahweh Sheb'al Shai is going to be with us and guide us through them. So, Lord, I hope this lesson is edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakakadash. With that, Shalom.